If you're in charge of hiring, you already know the pressure is immense. Making the wrong call isn't just a small mistake. It can really drag down your whole team, your projects, everything. So today, we are going to break down a really practical framework to help you see past those polished, rehearsed answers and actually build a team that clicks. Let's dive in. First off, let's just get a handle on how big this problem really is. An incredible 74% of employers, yeah, that's nearly 3 out of every 4, admit they have hired the wrong person for a job. This isn't some rare accident. It's a super common and very expensive mistake. And when I say expensive, I mean it. A single bad hire can cost a company up to 30% of that person's first-year salary. Just think about that for a second. This is so much more than just finding someone with the right skills. It's about making a smart financial move for the business. So how do we stop crossing our fingers and hoping for the best? How do we build a system that actually works? Well, the answer is to finally ditch those generic, tired questions and start using a simple, structured formula that gets you real insight into how a candidate's mind actually works. And here it is, the Core Insights formula. It's actually pretty simple. First, you figure out what you truly need, those core competencies like leadership or maybe resourcefulness. Second, you write questions specifically designed to test for those things. And third, and you cannot skip this part, you define what a great answer actually sounds like before you even start the interview. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty. We're going to look at some real-world examples of how you can swap out those old, useless interview questions for something way more powerful. Honestly, this is a total game changer. Okay, let's start with a classic. Instead of "what did you do," which just gets you a list of tasks from their job description, ask them, "how does what you do make the business money?" See that little shift? You're no longer just hearing about tasks. You're finding out if they get the big picture. Do they understand how their work connects to the bottom line? That's what you need to know. This next one is all about finding out if they're genuinely interested. The only question is so vague, you get a vague answer. But asking them what dream project they'd want to work on at your company, well, that does 2 amazing things. 1, it shows you what they're passionate about. And 2, it tells you instantly if they've bothered to do any research on you. Look, asking someone if they failed is a total waste of time. Of course they have. We all have. But asking for a spectacular failure, now that's where you get the good stuff. You don't really care about the failure itself. What you're testing for is their ability to look back, take ownership, and learn from it. You're looking for resilience. And this is exactly what you need to listen for. Any answer that points fingers, blaming a manager, teammates, a lack of resources, that is a huge red flag. A great candidate takes ownership. They tell you what they could have done differently and what they learned. A lack of accountability is a deal breaker. And finally, let's talk about proactive thinking. Did you like your last job? It's a boring yes or no question, but asking what they would change and why, now that gets into their critical thinking skills. You're looking for someone who thinks about improvement, not just someone who complains about their old boss. Now, all these questions give you, as the interviewer, a massive leg up. But what about the applicants? The truth is, sometimes the best candidates get screened out by automated systems before you even get a chance to talk to them. The source material also digs into why that happens and some of the tools out there to fix it. One of the tools they looked at is mobilecv.ai, and it's designed to solve a huge problem for job seekers, getting past those pesky resume screening bots. It's crazy, but about 75% of resumes get tossed by those systems. MobileCV.ai uses these perfectly formatted templates to get you past the bots, and it can turn something like your LinkedIn profile into a ready-to-go CV in about a minute. Best part? There's no monthly subscription. You just pay when you need it. All right, so you've asked all these great questions, the interview is over, and the candidate's gone home. There is one last, incredibly important question to ask. And this one isn't for them. It's for you and your hiring team. This right here is the ultimate test. It's not about, are they good enough or can they do the job? The real question is, will this person make our team's average performance even better? Every single hire should elevate the entire group. If the answer is anything less than a confident yes, then it's a no. So when you boil it all down, the big idea here is that hiring better isn't about finding some secret magic question. It's about changing your entire mindset and your entire approach to the interview itself. So here are the main things to remember. First, trade those generic questions for ones that show you how someone thinks.
Second, dig into the how and why behind their successes, not just the what. Third, make things like accountability and business sense total non-negotiables. And finally, always use that raise the bar test before you even think about making an offer.
So I'll leave you with a question to think about. After hearing all this, what is the one belief you've always held about interviewing that you might need to challenge? Because questioning that one thing could be the key to building the strongest team you've ever had.